Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to write API code for our reset page. And here I'm on the dashboard for the SendGrid. And if you are logging in for the first time, you would have to create a sender identity. So if you click on this, create a single sender. You will have to fill in all the details, your name, email address, because it will send a verification email on this email address. So I'm going to pause here, fill in the information and meet you at the other side. Now you have to do is go to settings, API keys and create an API key. Inside this, you can name anything you want. I'm going to add social media. And for API key permissions, full access and create a view and copy this. So make sure you copy and paste it somewhere because you won't be able to see it again, and click on done. And now if I go to VS Code, inside our config.env, I'm going to create a new variable, SendGrid API. So now inside our API folder, I'm going to create a new file, reset.js. And let's import this file inside our server. So inside our next app.prepare, and this is our last API route, /API/reset require. So inside this file again, we're going to need Express and the router. And inside this, we're going to need the user model. And also here, we're going to need the bcrypt. And after this, we're going to also need the node mailer package we are going to use to send the email. And also we're going to need the SendGrid transport. This is this one, right? A node mailer SendGrid transport. And now if I go to the documentation for this package, you can see we have to pass in an options object, which has an auth object, and it has an API key, which we added inside the config.env. So I'm going to copy this. We will make it a const. And inside this API key is going to be process.env. I'm going to copy the variable name from here. So after this, we're going to initialize it with this variable right here. So let's rename these values. I'm going to name it at const transporter node mailer dot create transport sg transport. We have renamed it as SendGrid transport, and we are passing in the options and save. And also inside this file, we are going to import our crypto package. We're going to need it to generate the token. So crypto. So now inside this, first of all, we're going to create a post request, router.post on our home route /API/reset and request and response. And inside try catch, again, if there is any error. And now inside the try block, we're going to receive the email inside request.body. So now we're going to check that this email is in the right format for the email. So for that, we're going to import a package, const is email, require validator /lib and is email. So if not is email, pass in the value, return res.status 401.send invalid email. So after this check, we are going to look for the user with this email right here inside our database. So const user await user model dot find one email, and I'm again going to convert into a lowercase. So if no user, I'm just going to copy this and we will change the status code 404 and user not found. So if user is there, we're going to generate a token here. So const token crypto dot random bytes, And inside this, we are going to add the size. It is going to be 32. So this will give us the number. We are going to convert it into a string to string and into a hex string. So this will give us the token. Now if I go to my user model, you can see we have this reset token property inside this user model, and we have an expire token. We are going to use both of these values. So user.reset token is equals to token, and user.expire token is equals to date dot now plus 3 6 and 5 zeros 1 2 3 4 5. So this basically means that date dot now plus 1 hour, so it is inside milliseconds. So our token is only going to be valid for 1 hour from the time it is generated. And after this, we are going to save the user. So wait user.save. So after the user is saved, we are going to send the email to the user. So for that, we are going to create an mail options object here, mail options. Inside this, if I go to the documentation again, these are the options we are going to have. Two, here is an array. We are going to have simple strings. So if you want to send an email to multiple users, you can add this array. So I'm going to copy this and paste. And inside the two, we are going to add user.email. So user.email, and from, you can add anything you here want. So I'm going to add admin@socialmedia.com. Subject, hi there. Password reset request. And text, I'm going to remove this. Inside HTML, we're going to add a paragraph here. And inside this, hey, we are going to add a user.name here. Let's add $, and let's make it a template string here. And also I'm going to split it. So we are only going to add the first name, split with the space, and get the first element from here. So after this, there was a request for password reset. And after this, we're going to have an anchor tag, href for this anchor tag. Now for inside this href, I'm going to create a variable here, const href. And inside this, inside template strings, base URL, we will import that in just a second, /reset. And we are going to add the token here. This is going to be a route on a front end. And let's import the base URL. So const base URL require utils and base URL. And if I open this, make sure it is a module.exports, not export default, because we are going to use this in our node environment. And inside this href, we're going to just simply add this href. And inside the anchor tags, click this link to reset the password. So these are just the mail options. We are yet to send the email. So on the top of the file, we created this transporter. So transporter, it has a method on it, dot send mail. The first argument is the mail options. So pass in the mail options. And the second is a callback with an error and info. Error and info. If you want, you can log the info. But what I'm going to do is if error and console.log the error. So after this mail is sent, we are going to return from here, return res.status 200.send email sent successfully. So this is the API route for checking the email. I'm going to add a comment here. Check user exists and send email for reset password. And now we are going to write API route for verify the token and reset the password in DB database. So router dot post, and our route is going to be /token. So if you want, you can add the token inside the parameters, inside the request.params. I'm going to send it inside the body. It will work the same. And our second argument is going to be request and response and try catch. Again, if there is any error. So inside the trial block, first of all, let's get a token from body. And we're also going to receive the password here. So the new password the user wants to set. And we're going to check if no token, return res.status 401.send unauthorized. And if password.length is less than 6, return, I'm just going to copy this from here. So now inside our user model, const user, we're going to look for the user with this token. So wait user model dot find one. Now we have the property, this reset token. So I'm going to copy this. It is going to be this token right here. If no user, return res.status 404.send user not found. But if there is a user, now we're going to check if the token has not expired. So if date.now is greater than user.expire token. So if you remember, inside this post request right here, we set the expire token to date.now plus this milliseconds for 1 hour. So if date.now is greater than user.expire token, so that means that the user token has expired. We're going to return res.status 401.send token expired, generate new. And now we are going to save the password. So user.password await bcrypt.hash. Inside this, the string is going to be password and the numbers rounds is going to be 10. And we are going to set the user.reset token to empty strings and user.expire token undefined. And we're going to save the user. And after this, return res.status 200.send password updated. And if you want, you can also send an email here to give the user the confirmation that the password has been changed. And also what I'm going to do is inside this post request for checking the email, inside this email HTML right here, after this paragraph, I'm going to create another paragraph. And inside this, I'm going to write this token is valid for only 1 hour. So that the user knows that yeah, this token is only valid for 1 hour. So this is all for this video. In the next video, we are going to start working on creating our front end. So I will see you there.